Hello, ladies. We're here to talk about how to help teachers with their students when it comes to giving them effective and engaging strategies to help their students with literacy.
Why? Shouldn't they already know what that entails?
Not necessarily. There are several engaging and effective tools that we can give to teachers to help them with their students when it comes to reading, writing, thinking, and speaking.
They're crazy.
Well, why do you say that?
Ain't they learned it in college? The teachers. Obviously, you did not learn enough English while you were at school. Your English is atrocious. And your snooty butt could use a butt whooping. Oh! Why, I never. I highly doubt that.
Ladies, calm down. African American language is an official language. Think about this. When French people speak English and they use a Z sound for T and H, do we mock them? Or better yet, Asian students or people from Asia, when they over-pluralize the word dollar, do we think that they're stupid?
Well, no, but...
It would be difficult for any of us to pronounce Old English or Middle English. But we can completely reconcile New English, which is the English we speak today. Just like Standard English has evolved, teachers need to evolve in how they teach their students literacy. When it comes to the different types of cultural languages, teachers should change the way they correct their students. For example, while looking at this chart for SAE and AAE, when Black children speak AAE and the teacher wants them to speak SAE, he or she should ask them to translate AAE to SAE. Let's watch this video from Dr. Richard Epstein just about this exact topic.
Well, we judge others in many ways. We judge people on the way they dress. We judge people by the food they eat. We judge people by the way they treat their elders. We judge people by the way they stand in space when they talk to us. And one of the main ways that we judge other people is by how they talk. So we are always making snap judgments about people we don't really know very well, perhaps people we've just met. We look at their clothing, and one of the things that we do very quickly is we assess their character based on the way they talk. So we are constantly judging people. We judge their intelligence, of course. We judge their reliability, their trustworthiness. And we do that through language mainly because people talk to each other, and as soon as you open your mouth, you're giving clues about where you come from and where you grew up. And people pick up on those clues very, very quickly and easily. And we make all sorts of judgments, most of which are stereotypes about people in this way. It's a lot easier to judge people quickly based on superficial clues rather than to take the time to get to know them. Sometimes, of course, we don't have an opportunity to get to know someone. But when we judge someone, we hear someone use grammar that we think of as perhaps not standard. It's very easy to judge them as uneducated, and maybe they're not too bright, but that's a stereotype. There are many people who speak non-standardly who are extremely bright. Standard English conveys values that we associate with being educated, conveys values that we associate with making money. These are stereotypes, of course. Not everybody who speaks Standard English is wealthy or educated, but those are positive values, but standard English conveys negative values as well, and say it might make you sound like a snob. And so people reject that sort of thing in some cases, and Ronald Reagan famously stood up to the Russians on national TV and says, "We ain't gonna back down to the Russians." And Ronald Reagan, the President of the United States, used the word ain't because non-standard dialects are also associated with values. One of those positive values is toughness, and one of those values that presumably Bob Dylan drew on his songwriting is authenticity. That you're a real man of the street and you know how things are if you're speaking non-standardly. Those are the positive values of a non-standard dialect, but of course there are negative values as well. And one of those values is that you sound uneducated. So we give the President of the United States the benefit of the doubt even when he says ain't. And I guess we gave Bob Dylan the benefit of the doubt, but when it comes to ordinary folks, when they say ain't, or use double negatives, or use African-American vernacular, we don't know them. We don't give them the benefit of the doubt, and we judge them negatively and assume they're uneducated and therefore not too bright and probably not reliable for a good job. But of course, these are all stereotypes. There's no necessary correlation between the way you speak and your intelligence. Some people who speak standard English are smart, and some aren't. And some people who speak non-standard English are smart, and some aren't. Well, that's, of course, one of the most famous dialects that's non-standard and that we look down on. Many people speak African-American dialect because they grew up in African-American society. So all of us grow up speaking the language, the dialect of the people around us, those who we love and identify with the most. And so people associate dialects with values like intelligence and whether or not you're educated, but in fact the way you speak is really just a reflection of who you are and where you come from. We know that people speak English in lots of different ways based on where they come from. People from England speak differently than people from the United States, but people socially have different dialects because we grow up in different social groups. And we speak like our parents do, or the caregivers around us speak. And so our language becomes a symbol of who we are. It's a symbol of our social identity, much more than it is a sign of our intelligence. There is no link between dialect and intelligence. But it's very clear that we speak the way the people who we most cherish and love most, the way they speak. And our language is a sign of who we are as much as our religion.
Now, teachers, please brainstorm and list specific types of texts that are typically found in your content area. Now give a rationale for the purpose of the text in relationship to an assignment. Please read the 2 articles, How Important is Teaching Literacy in All Content Areas, and 25 reading strategies that work in every content area. Later, we will review key points of the article field questions regarding strategies introduced in 25 reading strategies. Please think about strategies you have used and why they were or were not successful. Next, you will spend time researching articles that could be used as reading assignments in your content area. Now, you will create a reading lesson based on a template that includes guiding students in reading the passage selected for the activity outlining the steps needed for teaching comprehension of the passage, outlining an assessment that measures student understanding of the passage, and utilizing strategies listed in the articles.
All my life I had to fight. Because they always told me that I didn't speak standard English, that I was stupid. Claire, this is life-changing. This is life-changing. This is wonderful, Robe, wonderful. All my life, people told me I was a bore. Claire, do you have a lesson about that? You misunderstood their American English, you being British and all. They were calling you a whore, not a bore.